today we will start a new chapter, study the continents of the Europe, right? So before we start the chapter, we have to know about the physical boundary of the European continent. Okay, what is the latitude and longitudinal extent of the European continent? What are the major physical diversity of the European continent, climatic diversity, as well as the political diversity or the political divisions of the European continent. Okay, so I will explain the whole introductory part of the European continent with in some bullet or in some points. So first we will talk about what is the latitude and longitudinal extent of the European continent, right? So without latitude and longitudinal extent, we can't detect any place or any continent on the map or the globe. So latitude and longitudinal extent is very much important for detecting any kind of place over the map, right? So in introduction, the first point of the introduction, latitude and longitude extent of European continent, right? So what is the latitude and longitudinal extent of the European continent? It ranges from 30 degree north to 70 degree north latitude and 10 degree west to 60 degree east longitude, right? So 30 degree north to 60 degree east longitude. It's a huge extent, but if you consider the whole European continent, it is not very big as the Africa or the Asian continent, right? It is a small continent and it is a great physical diversity as well as the political diversity, and it is a populous country as well as the prosperous also, right? So it has a huge range of the population, range of the population, but as well as it is a prosperous country also. So what is the second point? The social and cultural status of the European country is prosperous and the rate of the population is high. Okay, I think it's clear to all of you, right? Next comes, what are the major oceans or the seas which is bounded the European continent, right? So if you consider the different side of the European continent, so this is the northern side of the European continent, north portion, this is the south portion, eastern side, and this is the western side. 4 sides. Okay, so if you consider the northern portion of the European continent, you see that the whole continent is bounded by the Arctic Ocean, right? If you consider the southern portion of the European continent, it is bounded by the 2 major oceans or bay. Number 1 is the Mediterranean Sea, and here the Black Sea, right? And in the western part of the European country, it is bounded by Atlantic Sea, right? And the eastern portion of the European country, there is no sea situated between the Europe and Russia, or the lower portion of the European country, Asia. So there is a small landmass which is separate the Europe from the Asia, right? So Eurasian landmass separate the Europe from Asia. Okay, so in the eastern part of the European continent, there is no sea is situated between the Asia and the Europe. So there is a small landmass which is separate the Europe from the Asian continent. Okay, so that is called the Eurasia. If I give you some one more question that mention the name of the landmass which is separate the Europe from the Asia, the answer is the Eurasia, right? Okay, so next comes number 4. I don't have any space in there, so that's why I shift in my right side. So number 4 point, what are the major peaks or the ranges which is bounded the European continent? Okay, so Mount Elbrus is the highest peak in the Europe. So you have to remember the name of the peak. Okay, so it's Mount Elbrus, right? And one more thing that is very very important, in Europe, the eastern part of the European country, there are 2 landmasses which is situated. In this portion, I mean that portion, Asian continent. Okay, this portion is bounded by the Russia. I already wrote over it. And then, the western part of the European country, it is bounded by the African continent, right? So in the Asian continent and the southern part of the African continent, so in Asian continent it is separated by the Eurasian landmass. I already told that. And the African continent, which is also separate from the Europe, that is not joined. If you see that, there is a small gap between Africa and Europe, right? So in that graph, there is a one Strait of Gibraltar is a boundary or the frontier, you can say that. So that is situated in between the Africa and Europe. That is separate the African continent from the Europe, right? So in the 5th point, the Strait of Gibraltar situated between Europe and Africa, and it's separate Europe from Africa. I think it's clear to all of you. This point is very very important, very very important. This point is very very important, and this one also. What is the latitudinal and longitudinal extent, and what are the major seas which is bounded by or covered by the European continent, and highest peak, that one, and the last one is very very important, and this one also. Okay, so please write all this point in your copy because it helps to remember what are the setup of the whole European country. Okay, so next comes in the 6th point. I don't have any space, so that's why I have to move over there. Okay. So number 6 point, major physical units of Europe. So what are the major physical units of the Europe? The major physical units of the Europe is divided into some types. Okay, so what are those? Number 1 is north and west uplands, northwest uplands. Okay, number 2, central uplands. Number 3 is central lowland, and number 4 is alpine mountain region. So these are the major physical units of the European continent. If I give you a short question what are the major physical units of the European continent, just only mention the name of the lands, that's all, and you give the number. If I give you the question what are the major physical features of the central uplands, so then you have to write all the
Thank you for watching the video. To know more about us, click www.stxavierspublicschool.com. If you like our video, then share and subscribe, please. Tata all my friend. I see you again in next video.